Hi, Year 12s. No jokes today. I've decided that I'm not very funny. So today we're going to be talking about community legal centres, which is dot point 5 in the study design. It's part of this one here, the role of institutions. Role means what do they do? What do they do? Available to the accused, not the victim, so the accused, including VLA, which you've already done, and the Victorian Community Legal Centres. Okay, so VCLC. You can shorten this, but you need to write it out fully in your responses first. Okay, so what is a Victorian legal centre? Okay, well, Victorian legal centres provide a range of legal services in both Australia and Victoria. Okay, so there's a lot of them. Victoria. They provide free legal services, most commonly advice, information, education, and occasionally, but not very often, they may provide representation, mostly in the form of duty lawyers, which is just on the day representation rather than long trials. They are usually for people who cannot access or afford other legal services, and that's why they're free. There are two types that you need to know. And you need to be able to distinguish between the two and identify them in a scenario. The first type is a generalist CLC. They provide a broad range of information and legal services across the board, and it's to people in a particular geographical location. Okay, so what we mean by that is a particular suburb or group of suburbs. So an example is the Fitzroy Community Legal Centre. So they provide information around different laws to the Fitzroy community, Collingwood, and they also service Darebin as well. You can access them by making an appointment, ringing up. There's also information on their website about different problems with the law. The other type of CLC is a specialist CLC, which focuses on a particular group of people or an area of law. Okay, so examples of that might be refugee law, it might be disability law, and the one I've got for you is youth law. Okay, so youth law is a specialist CLC which provides information to people under 25. Most commonly, they provide legal information around things such as car fines, tram fines, what happens if you get suspended at school or you're constantly bullied. So they will provide information and a process on how to deal with these type of issues or disputes. So what are some types of assistance? You'll need to read more in your textbook, but as a general rule, they provide basic day-to-day information. So you can just ring them up, you can go and attend an appointment, and they'll give you some generalist information about how to actually get started. Some of the ways they can do that is through initial legal advice. So if you want to get started on a particular matter, they'll give you some steps to actually do it. You can also ring them up. The third aspect is you may get a duty lawyer assistant. So before I said that was a lawyer on the day. So if you've got a small matter, they may provide you with a lawyer to help you on the day in, for example, magistrates court. And very, very occasionally, they may provide you with ongoing legal casework, but they don't have a lot of resources. So it's rare that they do this. And usually does not apply for an indictable offence. So it's usually something of public interest that they will represent you for. If you do manage to get a lawyer for a particular case, you have eligibility requirements. So in order to actually get a lawyer, most community legal centres will focus on using the Victorian Legal Aid tests in order to see if that person needs assistance. So they all have slightly different tests, but they usually use the VLA test in order to determine whether or not someone should be successful at their case. Okay. They may also recommend VLA to these people. Lastly, I just wanted to show you a snapshot of how CLCs help. You can use this in terms of your written work. So over 50,000 people last year access CLCs. 3 in 4 people are women, so it's most likely women looking for representation. 3 out of 4 people are experiencing financial difficulty, so you can see there that the freedom. 1 in 4 people have disabilities, so it means that they're trying to learn how to access the system. 1 in 5 people have mental health issues. So you can see that there's a range of vulnerable people that CLCs are trying to protect and allow people to use their services. And you can see that in 20 to 21, there was 113% increase in housing services. So maybe that is because of COVID. It's hard to know. So that's all for today. Good luck. If I can turn this off.